Where on earth can you find the world's highest tides, go kayaking around flowerpot islands, and walk on the ocean floor all in the same day? In New Brunswick, of course. Nestled between the Atlantic provinces of Nova Scotia and New Brunswick is one of the most interesting geographical anomalies on Earth, the Bay of Fundy, with its incredible tidal range. For most places on Earth, the average range between the high tide and low tide is only about a meter, but some places in the Bay of Fundy, this can go as high as 16 meters or over 50 feet, pulling and pushing over 100 billion metric tons of water in and out of the bay twice a day, every single day. It truly is hard to wrap your mind around just how much force, how much water is being moved around by just the movement of the Earth and the Moon, and often we don't even notice it, even when we do live on the coast. But if ever there was a place where you could just watch the power of the tides rolling in, it would be Hopewell Rocks in New Brunswick. Just a little west of the border with Nova Scotia and close to the cities of Moncton and Sackville is Hopewell Cape. It's right around where the Petitcodiac and Memramcook rivers meet up with the Bay of Fundy, and it's home to the world's famous Hopewell Rocks. The rocks, sometimes also called flowerpot rocks, are rock formations caused by the constant erosion from the tides in the Bay of Fundy. From this spot, you can watch the tides come in, hang out for a few hours, and then follow them back out again. It's honestly kind of hard to describe exactly what this looks like. So let's take a second to watch a time lapse together. Typically, it's low tide in the morning, and people come out to walk along the seabed to check out the base of the flowerpot islands. Then, almost like clockwork, the tides start coming in and pushing people in, filling the entire space below the rocks and covering the seabed, closing the beach to the public for a few hours. Then it's the kayakers' turn to check out the islands as the tide slowly retreats and the seabed once again comes to the surface. The sediments left here by the tides are rich in biodiversity, attracting rare birds and other animals to the area, plus the advancing and retreating tides are the reason for the rocks being the way they are. The way the water and the tide erodes the shore causes pieces to thin out at the bottom but stay wide at the top, leaving trees and other plants up there as well. And they are still eroding. In March of 2016, a large part of one of the largest and most photographed of the rocks, called Elephant Rock, collapsed, and it sheared almost in half, closing off one of the old paths that was once often used. Visitors who make it out to this part of New Brunswick are strongly encouraged to take a full day to really get a full appreciation of the tides of Fundy and the rock formations. Although it can vary from day to day, the high tide can be as high as 16 meters or 52 feet, giving the rocks one of the highest average tides in the entire world. The Hopewell Rocks are part of the Rocks Provincial Park in New Brunswick, and it's located just off of Highway 114, southeast of Moncton. And although the rocks and the beach themselves are self-guided with some interpretive signs, the staff at the Welcome Center are usually available to answer any questions that you might have, give you some tips on really good places to take some pictures or the accessible routes down onto the beach, or to help you peruse the gift shop. I know that I'm throwing together a list of Canadian destinations that I want to check out once the whole pandemic is over and we can travel between provinces and stuff again, and Hopewell Rocks is probably going to be one of them on there. What do you guys think? Is it a destination worth checking out? Or maybe you've already checked it out, or you might have another destination that you're dying to visit once you get a chance to travel again. Anyways, leave your thoughts in the comments below, and as always, thank you so much for checking out the video. Please subscribe, and we will see you next time.